Hello and welcome to today's trading session. It is a Friday, so predominantly can be a bit of a sell-off day, but where we're kicking off, we're actually right down near the S3 already. So a couple of things today. We've got the previous day's low up above the S2. We're just running into that now, about 80 points almost to actually get to the extreme gap this morning on the upside. So we don't often have the market open lower than the extreme gap, particularly when it's been so bullish. So for those looking to get long or buy into the DAX, it could be an opportunity to start looking at sort of getting into the market to the upside. But one thing to watch is we've already been declining. It's been quite bearish, and sometimes when that happens, the market can decline even harder. So let's say we hit the S3 and we keep going lower. Anything below that, that's when I start to get concerned that the market's not going to turn around or be bullish. In fact, it's just going to potentially continue much lower. And as you can see by the daily charts, look at that. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 days in a row down. We had a steady day and then another day. So I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days from the highs. So 7 days of downward movement. We've hit that mid Bollinger Band line on the daily chart, which could be, I guess, a double indication that we're going to hopefully reject now and head long. We've kind of tapped the S3 already. So what I'm hoping for at the open in 1 minute's time is that the market pulls down to this S3 and then goes towards the previous day's low. However, what I would expect is the market may just buy, like blind buy up towards the previous day's low at the very least, even up all the way to the close or the pivot. So very, I guess, bullish today, even though we've had a lot of declining. So it's very much looking for the opposite of what should happen today. The issue is obviously we've got on the weekly we're turning down, so we may continue to see selling off. I'm not keen to get short. If it does go, it'll go quite hard, I would imagine. But I'll be looking to stay within the pivot points and hopefully target at least the previous day's low. So we'll just have to wait and see what the market gives us in about 4 seconds time. We're about to open. I'm just going to open up my platforms as well. My actual trading platforms where I place my orders. I've hit a buy order, but I think we might have a bit of a sell-off first. So I'm leaving some equity there to play with if we don't just charge straight up. We may kind of reject off this S2. Again, the UK is still on a different time frame, so that's important to note that we're not getting that same volatility and that same push like we would normally expect. So we may have a bit of, I guess, drifting around for the first half an hour, and potentially, if we get a good spike like that, that's great. But we just don't have the volatility that we normally have, so it's important to just be aware of that. Also, we are very close to the 24,000 mark on the dot. So 24K is just up above the S2 here. It's probably, 30 points away, so that's important to note that we are below that, and we may reject shorter down off that level. So we've broken through on the futures of the 24,000 round number. I'll just see if we've got... So here's the indication that would have been to buy 33 contracts in the pre-market, so about 20 minutes before the market opened, followed by quite a bit of buying comparative to the rest of the volume that's been had. So important to, I guess, take note of the volume profile and the order flow that we've got. This looks like a lot of selling, so it looks like selling up here too. So I might try and get out of this long that I've got. It's not really propelling like I expected. If we get that motion, I might hold it, but if I can sort of just get out at break even, I'll try and do that. I'd really love to just break this S2 and get up to at least the previous day's low. If we do come down and touch the S3, then I will be tempted to add some volume to that position. Good morning, Trek Lord. Thanks for joining. Now, it's not actually pre-market. It's the DAX is open now. So the German market is open an hour before the London market for the next, I think, week. So I'll just double check that. So London daylight savings. And it's because of the daylight savings. So that kicks in Sunday the 26th of October. So we've got all of next week. It'll be an hour early, I guess, compared to London. And then on that final week of October, from the Monday the 27th, we'll be back on the same time. So it'll be even time, and then that's when the volatility will actually come back in. So it's a very, I guess, quite a weak sort of a start for about a good third of the month in October every year. So if you, for example, if you look up German stock market time open, I just Google it if I'm not sure. So it's 9 a.m. German time now. Time in Germany, 8 a.m. Okay, I might have it wrong, but I'm pretty sure Germany, so every year it's open at a different time to London every year for a couple of weeks. So maybe I've got it wrong. But we did see some excellent trading 20 minutes before the time that I've opened it here, which I kind of showed just earlier. So we've got 33 contracts here, right down the bottom towards the S3. Now, because I don't trade pre-market, I didn't get in on that one, but quite a good entry. There is the risk that the market may, I guess, fall through because it's been so bearish. We're only at the halfway Bollinger Band line at the moment, and then I think, if we do break below this, we'll be having some serious downward movement. So I wouldn't want to be on the other side of that. So I am looking for a reason to get long. Sometimes we do reject off this midline. I guess it's almost acting like a moving average. Look, if we can break through this S2, that'd be ideal. Now I'm sure I looked at it last week. Maybe it's changed this week, but last week the time was definitely different. So yeah, that's on MT5 and then also Tradovate. So yeah, for another, I think, week or two. Is it 2 weeks? So let me check that. So yeah, one more week of it being a different time, I believe, because of the London daylight savings. It looks like it might reject off here. I do have my stop to break even just to cancel that trade out. I'm not super confident that this will break through. I would love to see a touch of the S3 so that we can really get behind it and hopefully go and fill that extreme gap from that lower point. But often what I see is the market just pushes through, really powers up towards that extreme gap. So we'll just see if that actually happens today or not. Often I find this period before London daylight savings change, I feel like it's, I guess, a bit different to the normal interaction. And perhaps I've got my times wrong, but yeah, it's always a bit funny for that period when London doesn't open at the same time. So London, 8 o'clock, London market, London time now. So it's 7 a.m. in London, so they don't open for another hour. Time in Germany. Okay, 8 a.m. German market open time. 8 a.m. Okay, yeah, so the DAX opens, it says the DAX opens at 8 a.m. and closes at 4:30 UK time. So the market, it's kind of hovering at the moment. It looks like it might turn down. Perhaps it's just kind of soaking some buyers up before London comes in and heads towards that previous day's low. So just watching that activity there. If we do start to really push quickly through this level, I'd be quite confident in a long to at least target the previous day's low. There's about 80 points in that. Yeah, about 80 points. Also, the 24,000 mark, it has been, I guess, interacted with multiple times quite recently, reducing its effect on the market, so reducing reactions directly off it. So the volume, again, very thin and just waiting for some sort of, it's very slow moving. So yeah, perhaps it's best to wait for another 50 minutes when London comes in and start to really see that movement. What I'll be looking for is, if we can get all the way to the S3, I'll be looking to buy. If we break below the S3 by too much, I don't want to be on the downside, because look at that daily motion. So massive declines there. So just don't get on the wrong side of a long when the market's that bearish. Make sure you can react quite quickly if it does start getting away from you. So yeah, I'll be looking for buys off that S3, or if we break this S2, I'll be looking to get long again. In between this area, it's very much kind of middle of nowhere, and I'm not really seeing that much value or information telling me that I should get long while we're between this range. Particularly if we start breaking short, like we have really big, powerful candles, and we go straight through that S3 without any rejections, that would be quite concerning. So that's the situation where I'd be looking for the order flow to take me in. I won't just be blindly buying, because when the DAX falls, it falls really quickly. So you've just got to be really ready. Have your stops or your finger on the trigger just to make sure that you can get out if you have to. I'll do a quick recap just while we're waiting for the market to kind of play out. There's some excellent buying down here of the S2. Just trying to figure out where that was. Okay, yeah, so off the S2, really good buying there yesterday. So the market dropped. The 10 o'clock candle, what have we got today? So it is an hour earlier. So you got the 10 o'clock candle up here. We dropped all the way down. Took about half an hour to kind of hit the lows, and then we rejected off that breakout short in S2 for about 160 points. So really good buying yesterday if you were able to wait out that power move down. Still kind of waiting for this market to do something. We'll just have a quick look at the UK as well. Very bearish as well. We are down below the S3, so that indicates to me that perhaps the market isn't going to respect the pivot points today. So just be aware the UK has fallen below that level as well. In relation to the pre-market, this can actually be a really good buy opportunity when we open outside the S3. I'm actually going to go and place an order now. When we open outside the S3, which is the lowest point, that forms quite a good target. So in the next sort of 50 minutes, we should hopefully start heading towards that S3. So, a lot of traders might build a position into this. This is the UK 100, not the DAX, which we usually follow. But look, I think there's some really good potential there. Whereas with the DAX, we're still inside the levels. On the UK, we're actually outside of those levels, and that could be, I guess, a higher probability target. So that's what I'll be looking for. Obviously cautious that the market may just continue to drop. The ASX had quite a bearish day today, so I'll just zoom in on that. Just on a 5 minute, kind of just drifted down all day. So just got to watch for that, obviously, for what we've got today. As I mentioned the other day, the yearly breakout long, we rejected off that on the US 30, and we've basically been bearish. Bit of a rejection, came back up, but now we're heading quite a fair way down after that sort of rejection. So really responsive to those yearly levels, the US 30, and we've also got the Nikkei or the JPN 225, bearish day as well. Looks like it's also outside of the S3, but that's the Asian session, so a little bit different when it comes to targeting that level. So I wouldn't be looking at that now that the UK and the German markets are about to open. So really it's just a matter of waiting for probably another 45 minutes and then I guess watching your order flow, seeing if you can have a kind of a safe buy, but just noting that if the market does fall away, could be a really bearish day today. So be quick on the trigger. I'll be, I guess, building a position in the UK. October, I guess it's been a bit hit and miss. I sometimes have a really good day, or like a really good couple of days, but the prop firms haven't done so well. So trading account has gone well, but the prop firms haven't. So I think it's down to trying to rush getting funded. But the actual accounts themselves have gone quite well. So obviously it's to do with mentality, that wanting to get that money, get funded, get the refund, particularly with FTMO. It's quite I guess you try and rush it when you shouldn't. For example, and there were a few days which I didn't read, and I went in, I guess, a bit heavier on the prop firms, and then they didn't work out. But then I waited, I was more patient with my actual account, and that panned out quite well. So I guess it's covered the cost of the prop firms through the other trading. But all in all, not it's not a huge winner. Thank you for the likes today as well, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming back and watching the session. I know it's a Friday, so a lot of traders, they've got better things to do right before the weekend, but some people like to get in and, I guess, try and earn some money before they clock off completely for the week. So anyway, that's probably about it from me. I won't sort of drag it out too much. I'll just be looking for buy opportunities as we go, watching the order flow, and hopefully we have a positive London or European session, because it's been quite bearish in the lead up. So I guess it's positioned us really well for some really good buy opportunities. Anyway, guys, best of luck with your trading. Have a great day, and we'll be back next week.